All right, everybody, welcome back. We are now joined here at the Bitcoin Plus live news desk with friends to the Pleb Underground show, right? If you guys don't know, he was already a guest on the show a few months ago, and I've got him here right now before he does his talk at Bitcoin Plus. I am talking about ReardonCode, who works on what is it? You work at Swan?
Yeah,
what is it?
Self-custody stuff.
Self-custody stuff.
Our main product is Swan Vault.
Ah, the Swan Vault. Okay, so let's dive into it. What is high-level summary? What are you going to be talking about for your panel? Or your presentation?
Yeah, my talk today, it's called Quirky Covenants, and really it's kind of digging into all these different proposals for Bitcoin that everyone's talked about already this week, and kind of some of the interesting things you can do that might not be expected about them. Because I think one of the questions lots of people ask about covenants is, well, what else could it do? Could it do this bad thing? Could it cause a problem? And so
yes, that's always my concern.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I've been trying to explore the edges of that, and it's like one of the surprises, for example, is that Vault is recursive. And so that's like one of the things I'll touch on. And, is that a problem? I don't know. I'm just trying to get the facts out there. Yes, it's recursive.
Interesting. So have people actually thought of any negative use cases based on that?
Well, it depends what you mean by a negative. So some people
essentially, like, to make it as simple as possible, right? Breaking it, right? Somehow breaking this and making it so that people lose funds, or somehow their funds are trapped, or maybe they're not lost, but they're stuck in limbo. You know, they exist, but you can't have them, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely possible with Vault. Any recursive structure, it's absolutely possible to make a UTXO that's locked forever in that forever recursion.
Oh my god!
But is that really a problem? Because right now,
yeah, exactly.
I could send my money to one Bitcoin Ether. What's the problem?
Exactly right. So I guess my question is, what is the likelihood of this recursion causing an issue, right? Because I remember this when I used to do technical support in QA, right? It was like, hey, we found this bug, but like, how likely is someone actually to run into this bug? And in some cases, it's like, you know, the person has to do such right? Like they have to do such a sequence, like it's a non-zero chance, but it's like 99.99999%. There's no way they're going to run into it. They are going to be the edge case.
Yeah, and I think that's actually what we've been talking about. So, Rusty Russell did the whole presentation about the script restoration. And when we started talking about that, we're talking, so what do we want to avoid here? And how do we help keep users safe? And what we came up with is it's okay to enable more ways for users to break themselves, as long as we also enable ways for them not to break themselves that are easier to use. So the goal here is, hey, let's make something that can let users easily do the things that don't break them. And they can also screw themselves, but let's make sure that's harder.
I like that. Yeah. Look, unfortunately, right, we do live in a time where we have to stop people from shooting themselves in the foot.
Or at least give them tools where it's easier not to shoot yourself.
Yeah, in the foot. Exactly.
You cannot stop someone, right? If someone wants to cut their foot off, whatever, they're gonna do it. But we can make it so that, hey, the easiest thing to do is to like safely walk on this path. You put a little guardrail on it, and that's the kind of thing we want to do.
I just want to point out, this is metaphorical. Nobody is cutting off anybody's because I've had this happen, right, where we'll say something like this on a stream or whatever, and then it's like, wait a second, we have to make sure that we're not talking about physically harming anyone. We are talking about people possibly losing their funds. There are no body parts that are going missing or anything like that. Okay, so just to make that clear. Okay, so let me ask you this. I guess all right, you're going down this path. You're talking about the recursions, and I guess, is there a specific product that you're working on to facilitate these tools, or can you share anything about it, or is it super top secret at Swan?
Well, Swan is really just focused on, we want to get more people on self-custody.
Okay.
And so right now we're building good self-custody tools with existing Bitcoin scripts, and then part of my role is to kind of work with the community to say, well, let's get things out there into Bitcoin that let us do better self-custody. Because right now, self-custody is limited, right?
Yeah.
The best self-custody is a 2 of 3 multi-sig, but that's expensive on chain. We need better self-custody tools. And so that's why I'm out here talking and everything, is let's move Bitcoin forward to get better self-custody. I think that's a really important thing to work on.
Okay, I might be asking a question outside of the wheelhouse, but I'm curious because you're at Swan. So I remember when Swan purchased Spectre Desktop.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I mean, I love that product, not just the multi-sig aspect of it that's incorporated in a lot of Node software, but I was one of the people who purchased the DIY the hardware wallet.
Great piece of hardware.
Isn't it? Like, I think it's really cool. I love the way they did that board, the case. Anyways, my question is this somehow, is that hardware or any of the Spectre stuff working into what it is that you're doing?
I have to be a little careful with what I say here.
Okay, sorry.
But what I can say,
what you can share,
yeah, is that Swan. We think Spectre Desktop and Spectre DIY are great products at Swan, and we are trying to make sure that we keep them moving forward. The Spectre team became part of the Swan custody team that I work on, and so we are all working together on self-custody things. Yeah, so that's why I can say we all care about self-custody. Spectre is a part of that. Exactly how that looks in the future, we don't know yet.
And before we started this conversation, you mentioned that you work on the Swan Vault product,
yeah,
right? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Swan Vault is great. I mean, I have bags. Obviously, I'm at Swan. I think it's the best.
We at least have to specify that.
Yeah, I think it's the best self-custody option for boomers who don't want to be on an exchange. And that's maybe a silly way to say it, but
no, but that's the use case.
Yeah. So when we onboard people, like one of the hard parts of getting people onto Swan Vault is getting them to open the correct browser on their computer. Right? That's the kind of users that Swan Vault is designed to serve. And for those people, like if they don't want to be an exchange, they want to have their money safe. Swan Vault is a freaking phenomenal product for that, because the entire experience is inside the Swan web application. So you use your Jade hardware signers with the Swan application. It can all be handheld. You can pay us for a little bit of a handheld to go along with it. And it works so well. People love it. Their funds are safe. We can help them keep their funds safe forever.
I mean, that's a good pitch. I appreciate
great product, man.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I guess my final question is, okay, so can you share anything about any projects that you guys are looking into working that seem interesting to you? Because I know that everybody's got roadmaps, right? Corporations love roadmaps. They love all that sprint stuff. So I'm just curious.
I can't share anything about our future plans right now. Stay tuned, especially up to Big Bitcoin this year.
Okay, all right, there you go. There's the plug, guys. All right, Reardon, it's absolutely awesome having you on to talk about this. When's your talk?
It's supposed to be at 2. Schedules are a little flexible here, but yeah, this afternoon.
Okay, so that's right, guys. This afternoon, if you want to see the full details and you want to see the nitty gritty here of what ReardonCode is working on, but yeah, he is going to be on the main stage probably in about 2 hours or so. So stay tuned for that. And guys, that does it for the live news desk for the moment. We're going to catch you later.
See ya.